Hello and welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, your host, and tonight, oh my gosh, fasten your seatbelts. We have such a phenomenal special VIP. She's one of my favorites. She's a Clubhouse star. We have Lori Ann Speed. She is let me put my glasses on because she's so fabulous. She's a composer, pianist, recording artist, and writer. Let's give her a super warm welcome. Hey, Lorianne, how are you?
I'm so good, AJ. I'm so happy to be here with you. And I'm already having a great time. It's so great to just be with you. We've known each other for, all this time on Clubhouse, and I just feel like I'm meeting an old friend. So nice to be here.
Oh, bless your heart. I feel the same way about you, Lorianne. And you're truly a superstar. You're an artist, but I've even said this, you're a healer as well. You have a double gift. I think I mentioned this and I'll say it again if it's okay. Some people just do music for music's sake, but you are also a healer. You've got like a double win, a double blessing, if you will. You're healing, you heal through your music, and you're also an artist. So I just want to thank you for your service. And before we start the questions, I just wanted do you want to comment to that, what I just said?
I love both those words. I couldn't ask for two better words. So thank you for that. Yeah. It's so
Thank you.
important to me. I want to be an artist, and if I can be helping others in that process or in service with it, that's tremendous. That's full heart for that.
It's what it's all about, isn't it? Finding what we do best. And you found your calling 100%. And, I know so many people like Judah Ray and Kimberly Skirm and Noah Waters the third, Noah A. Waters the third. We just adore you and we appreciate your music so much. And we're so thankful that you're in our lives, that we know you. So that's how I want to start the show. Okay, so Lorianne, here's our first question. What wisdom have you learned on your journey as an artist? What can you share with us?
Mm. First thing that comes to mind is to believe in myself. Like the wisdom, that's such a wisdom. It's so, I guess, almost cliche now. Everybody says that. But when you live it, when you spend a long period of time not believing in yourself and then believing oneself finally, then I would say that's, wisdom I've learned on the journey, because I didn't start out the journey with that. And that's just a deep wisdom that serves everything. And to ignore the voices that creep in that are self-critical or self-judgmental, or not those unhelpful voices. I feel like that is a wisdom I've learned along the way, is some aspiration towards freedom from that. I think I've been crippled by that my whole life, and especially wanting to be an artist. I mean, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and there's a vulnerability, and so having some of those inner voices. So I think what I'm grateful to have learned is to have less of that and more freedom to be who I am. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Thank you for that. And, I know you're full of heart because you're all heart, but you're talking about the brain, and the brain is so important, isn't it? That's the belief system you talked about, believing in ourselves, and also pushing away any negative thoughts. And that's a brain, both of those two are brain activities, brain switch ups, switching the script, right, Lorianne?
Yeah, and in that brain is our conditioning. It's the it's the location for all of those beliefs and that we form about ourselves, often even before we're 8 years old. That's contained in that gray matter, and that's not where great music's made from. That's not where any great things can happen. Actually, it's really in the heart, and not so much in that other location. Thanks for bringing that up. Mhm.
Yes, it's so, so true, Lorianne. I love that. Love what you said. So let's talk a little bit about how you got started in music. Share with everyone your start.
Yeah, I love my start. I guess if I had a choice, I might not have started quite this way, mind you, because, but it's a lovely story. And, third grade, I see a big white upright piano wheeled into our classroom. And immediately on hearing my little friend play it, I wanted to play. And I so wanted to play that I bothered my family. I bothered the teacher, the piano teacher, any way I could try and wiggle squiggle get a piano. I was working on that for probably 5 years, actually. And finally, I try and practice at school, and there are these lovely stories of people hearing this little tinkling down the hall. I would use the piano at school. We didn't have one at home, and my parents, sort of believed that, well, you play it for a month and then you're going to drop it, and no, we're not going to get you a piano. But then one day, in through our yard rolled the local piano teacher with his piano on the back of a pickup truck, and he gave me his piano, and that's how it got started. And I'm in an area, like I'm in a very rural wilderness area. It's like a logging and farming community, and um, not many were really into classical music, but I wanted, not many, probably, there wasn't a great appreciation for classical music, but I wanted to study classical music. So, things, we come the way we come, and I think, yeah, so I love that story. So thanks for asking. And that's how I got started.
What a fabulous story. And your teacher donating or gifting you the piano, that was that, can you remember that emotion that day? Were you over the moon?
Well, I couldn't believe my eyes. First of all, coming through the draw, through the gate and the piano. And I remember them loading it off and putting it downstairs. And oh, it was just thrilling, really. And a year later, of course, I was totally self-directed. No one ever told me to practice. It was all my own motivation. And after a year, my parents saw that I was keen on the piano, and they gave him his piano back, and they had found a piano for me. So, but it was a really beautiful moment of like just being heard, and that honoring that strong impulse to play, and that being honored, and that it had value, and was a big experience, really.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I bet that made you feel so good that your parents finally saw your dedication was real. It was real, and you were wanting this journey, and you were serious about it, and they got convinced. So I'm so proud of you doing that, because you were young, and but your seriousness and your journey as an artist really was, that was the foundation right there, the beginning. So this is so important, and I'm glad your parents finally recognized that. Thanks, mom and dad.
Yeah. And what's interesting too is that all the way along, there was this self-direction and this continual pull to the next dream. So if the first dream was just to get the piano, the next dream was to get a certain distance with it. And then the next dream was to get into a university, into, music school. And, it just never left me. And it's still with me after all this time. It's just a different dream, a new dream, but there's always been a dream of the piano in one form or another.
And I love that. And so now let's talk about your new dream. This is your new release. Tell us
Mm.
about, and we've got this on the screen here, and I absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous album cover. This, it's so important to have a wonderful and gorgeous and beautiful cover. It's not just putting something together quick and putting it out there. You put a lot of thought and time in this. It's called Somewhere in Time, Lorianne Speed, A Piano Sound Journey. So Lorianne, tell us about your new album, and how can people, purchase it? I know you're releasing a deluxe album on October 16th with
So,
videos, and please tell us about it.
oh gosh, thanks. Yeah, there's lots to share about that. So, I released the first part of the album June 21st, so just recently. And it's a culmination of 5 years of work there are multiple iterations of this album, because it's music and spoken word. There's a spoken word journey that I take people on, poetic spoken word introductions to each piece that has a, beginning, middle, and end, and takes us through the winding, twisting turns of life to arrive at a sacred truth. And so I released the first part of that, which was music only, on June 21st. And then the next one is October 17th, the rest of it, so to speak. But this goes back actually to 2011, because I had left piano for 8 years due to a variety of circumstances. And then I had this real epiphany over a period of a couple weeks, and which led to, a new vision. And since that time, I've been doing these concert journeys where I combine poetic spoken word with the piano compositions to take us, even to explore a thought-provoking topic, a thought-provoking journey, but always in them is some seed of transformation, some seed of an invitation into growth or self-awareness or self-reflection. And so this one's no different. It's called Summer in Time. And like I was just saying, it started in 2017 with the solar eclipse. And I was, on a rock bluff in this area. I'm here in this rustic cabin right now. This is the same property I grew up on. I come here every summer. And so I was out on this rock bluff, and it's in the country. And anyway, in the deepest, darkest freeze of that solar eclipse, it's like even the creatures in the forest, like everything became so still, as if everything was bowing before this cosmic event, and all the light was diffuse, and it was just this chill in the air. And so and I was writing poetry through it and my experience, which was sort of the seed to this spoken word journey. And so I've been doing iterations of that. It started with Dancing with the Mystery, and various pieces of music and various scripts to arrive at Somewhere in Time now. So I'm very, very grateful to be complete on this long project and putting it out in the world. So the music now, October 17th, which is going to be kind of unusual in streaming, because there's going to be a spoken word introduction to the compositions, and there'll be a particular order to go in. And of course, streaming breaks things up and you can listen to things by themselves. But I do hope some people, it's a concept album. I know that's like from a long time ago, but it's a concept. And I hope people go from start to end, and it'll be available on all the streaming sites. I'm selling digital copies on my website or Bandcamp. And yeah, let's see, what else can I tell you about? Yes, where to get it. That would be the places. Yeah, your usual streaming, or, on my website. And yeah.
Okay, that's great. And then you also have a LinkedIn, right, for people to get in contact with you and support you that way. What is that LinkedIn? Is it Lorianne Speed, that LinkedIn?
Yeah, it is Lorianne Speed. I don't use it so much, but there's Instagram and
Yes.
TikTok. I'm, contemplating playing live on TikTok, but I love playing live on Clubhouse. I don't know how I'll feel about playing on TikTok, but I love this digital world and performing in it. So I'm working on TikTok and Facebook. That's it. Yeah,
Wonderful.
Facebook.
So that people can support you and reach you to buy your album through Instagram, Facebook. They can reach out to you somehow. There's your LinkedIn on Instagram, right? And then you've got your own website,
The
Lori.
link tree. I'm sorry, AJ, you meant the link tree. Yes, on
Yes.
Instagram, the link tree. There is
Oh, I'm
a
sorry. Yes, that's what I meant. Apologize.
yeah, link tree. Very good. On Instagram is a link tree in the bio, and that has the links to all kinds of things. So it'll
Yes.
be, thank you. And
Great.
while you're there, follow me. Yeah.
That's right. Follow and subscribe. And also, now, do you have a YouTube channel yet?
Yes,
Okay, so please follow Lorianne on the YouTube, her Instagram, YouTube channel. You can reach out to her on Facebook. You also have a website. It's Lorianne Speed. Is it loriannespeed.com, your website?
that's right.
Okay, great. And then can people purchase your albums on your website?
Yes, again. Yeah.
Okay, this is
I would love
wonderful.
that. That's one of the few ways right now that artists can be supported. Because honestly, if you don't know the about streaming, it's worth mentioning that it's really you get 0.003% of a cent per stream, and it's not really a place that artists can make any return on their the investment in the music, but certainly digital copies you can get a little
Yeah.
bit back.
So get on Lorianne's website and check it out and purchase Somewhere in Time. It's easy. It's just a few clicks and then you have it and then you have it forever, right, Lorianne? You can play it and you can do yoga to it. You can, well, it's a journey, but you can do yoga, I'm sure, to it or exercise.
Right? You can, it's a lot of people use my music to create to journal to dream by, to, you know, yeah.
Well, so wonderful. Thank you, Lorianne. Okay, so who would you like to thank for influencing you in positive ways? You are such a positive person and your mindset is very positive, and we love that about you, Lorianne. Did you get it from your mom? Do you want to thank somebody for influencing you, or were you always, is it just your soul and your spirit?
I think I've always been positive despite uh, a lot of challenges. And maybe that's part of it. Challenges can either break you or break you open to what? To love, to light, right? And I feel like that's been my experience is the adversities have uh yeah, I just always had determination and perseverance and tenacity and a positive, I'm going to try that and I'm going to do my best at it and enjoyed the challenge of trying. And yeah, so you could call that a positive kind of outlook. And I've always had that willingness to try and to excel at whatever I'm trying, whether that's sports or piano or yeah, life even. So
I love that about you. We love that about you. And Lorianne, we know that you love to. Now I'm going off on a little tangent here, but you mentioned sports. You love to. Is it water ski?
slalom water ski, yes, yes.
Okay. So that I've never done that, but don't you have to have a lot of good balance and agility in a little bit for the rope and the ski?
Yes, and some more, and strength, and I mean, and it's a long haul sport. It's nothing you can really learn overnight. So I've been at that sport for a long time, and now I'm really good at it. And it does take a lot of strength. I always say I can get in better shape in 1 month water skiing than a whole winter in the gym lifting weights, because it needs so much core. Like, how much it takes when you go out in the spring for the first ski and absolutely every muscle of the body is so sore you cannot hardly move the next day. So oh yeah, that's getting pretty much everything. And then after a few days, it, it's fine, but it takes a lot of strength. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
good exercise, and it's a great sport. Thank
I'm
you.
so proud of you. That is I don't know if it's in the Olympics yet, but it should be.
Either.
But I'm so proud of you doing that. And I really admire you because yeah, I think it must take strength and agility in your arms and balance and everything. And you have to keep your wits about you, don't you, Lorianne?
It's an adrenaline sport, meaning you do not, it's high speed. It's like 34 miles an hour on a short rope. So that means you're just, you're accelerating across the wake to 45 miles an hour. Like you do not want to fall. And I've broken ribs, I've cracked ribs. and I don't want to ever do that again. So, I ski cautiously within my limits, but still, yeah, it's an adrenaline sport for me. I know I feel very transformed after I ski because you're not going to be balancing your checkbook, put it that way, while you're skiing it. It's very demanding. But you
Wow.
know what I'm gonna do, AJ, is I'm
Huh.
working on a music video where I'm going to include water skiing in it. And even we took this drone shot last week, and it was absolutely gorgeous above the boat and the skier, and you can see the grace and movement in it, and it's not unlike the music I try and write, so it's maybe I always see sports as being very right brain. Like it's not a left brain thing. They're related because they're both for me right brain activities. So
It's so wonderful you have that as a hobby. And how cool is that to be on the water? It must be just so exhilarating.
right. And
Mhm.
it's only early in the morning. So I mean I gotta get up at 6, gotta be at the dock at 7. I'm in the water by quarter after 7. It's like nothing else, and it's a real kind of I mean, not everybody has that opportunity to get that. I mean, I grew up on a lake, and then the place that I live in, Vancouver, is called Deep Cove. And so, yep, there's an inlet there. And I bumped into some guys that they skied, and I said, I know how to ski, like, because I grew up on a lake. Well, then I saw them ski, and I went, oh my goodness, now they know how to ski. So then I just kept tagging along with them again. I went, I want to do that, and I've been chasing them ever since. Like their technique, they were trained by the Canadian National Water Skiing team coach. So I got great coaching from them. Like I've had really good coaching, and I always was like, I'm going to catch up to those guys. And I did, and I have, and I'm really happy about that.
I adore you so much, Lorianne, and you are a goddess. I just want to say that you are a beautiful goddess and a fine example for all of us to reach out for our dreams. So I want to thank you for being so inspirational. And I know a lot of people are going to love this interview because you're sharing so much about the good things in life, and that's what we're here for. We're here for the good things in life, and you embody that. So thank you.
Thanks, AJ. Thank you.
And my next question is, what are your goals 5 years from now? Now, I know it's a while, but do
It's
you
a
have,
while. Yeah. Hmm. I first of all, health and um a sustainable creative life. And because I feel kind of burnt out right now with these launches, and and social media, and I call it social media slog because it's like this relentless process. And I feel like I just want to find a sustainable way through it. So that's a real goal. It's like how to be in this kind of place of ease and sustainability, and while I just respond to my mission, my calling, my purpose, and but I also, creatively, I have so much. I'm already halfway through another album, so I'm really excited about the new music I'm writing. And even while I'm preparing for these shows I have coming up, and I have a book I want to get published, and I'd love to get my music licensed, and to picture, I would love that. I have a lot of irons in the fire that way, and I really want to. I really hope for my music that it's like the antidote to, the stress and strain and the noise of life, that it can be a little oasis in a sense, and I always feel like, I reach for beauty. I think that's how I say positive. Like I believe beauty in what I see and what I hear and what I write. I reach for that. I feel like that's like a bridge to all that's bright and beautiful, to positivity, to the divine. Music's been a gateway for that. That's where it first you went to church, you went to some place, you went into gatherings, and music was a sacred experience. And it's the beauty that can open our hearts and make life seem bright and beautiful again. And so it's always this, I just hope that I can employ my music in that endeavor, so to speak. Yeah. So
That's so lovely, and I love your goals, and and that's such a beautiful vision for yourself as an artist. And I agree with you. Community is so important, and music is a part of that. And so I love that. Thank you so much, Lorianne, for answering that. That's so deep and wonderful. I'm going to scroll through on the screen some of your other albums. I want other people to go to your website, check them out, and purchase them. You can purchase them there as well. And Lorianne and I would love that if you would do that. And they're beautiful albums. But I'm going to ask you this question because it pertains to the wonderful catalog that you have. And we're going to scroll through a little bit here, and then we're going to come back to somewhere in time. But my question is, how can producers license your music? You mentioned just a moment ago that you'd like, film to picture or picture to film, that you'd like your music to be licensed. You own all of your rights to your catalog. And how can they produce, how can they get your license so they can produce a film with your music?
They just have to pick up the phone and call me, and I'll be right there. No, seriously, I own all the rights. I've got 7 albums of original music, well recorded. And I would, if someone needs, if it's the right fit for what they're looking for, then let's talk. And I met someone on Clubhouse who put a track in the movie, Mimi Kelly. So One Night in LA, I've got a track in there, and I just love that. And she was so thrilled, and I was thrilled, and it was just a beautiful collaboration. And so, uh, there's a real vibe in my music. It's not for everyone, but if it's for you and it's the right fit, I'd love to talk about it. And just email me or phone. I'm down.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Lorianne. And congratulations on that. I remember Mimi Kelly. She's wonderful and beautiful, and I love her heart and spirit. And congratulations on that. And did you see when you saw the final cut, did it make your heart feel joyous when you saw that?
Oh, it's very joyous. Like that is like, I mean, I'm a solo pianist when I play in concert. When I do albums, of course, there can be other musicians, but to collaborate like that's a unique experience. And in fact, that's one thing I like about doing the social media posts, actually, those little teeny tiny, little videos, a picture with music. And so, yeah, that's something
Yes.
unique and very special. And I just admire filmmakers so much and the stories they tell, and to be able to contribute to someone's story would be a great honor, I think.
Yes, I agree. And so to all the producers out there that are going to watch this, and all the composers as well. I mean, there's a lot of composers that would definitely, they have opportunities of things that come up, and they can promote you as well. So producers, composers, musicians, anybody who has an independent film or a studio film that they're working on. I know there's people out there. I know them. We know them, right, Lorianne? So please, keep your ears and eyes open for Lorianne, because she has wonderful, incredible, a list of catalog albums that she can, contribute and work with. It would be a wonderful collaboration. And so with that in mind, can all your music, I'm sorry, go ahead, Lorianne.
I was just going to mention that, ask that question. I think you were just going to ask the question I was going to speak to.
Okay. Do you want me to ask it?
I do.
Okay. So, Lorianne, can all your music be arranged or scored into any genre?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Yes, that uh the piano is an orchestral instrument, first of all. You have all the instruments represented in any piano piece. Any piano piece can be orchestrated in any style, orchestral or chamber music or vocalizing or uh and different combinations of instruments like a cello and a piano, or they all have a different story to tell. But when you start with the fundamental of the piece of music in solo piano, it can go anywhere you want it. And the themes that are in that particular piece of music can also be elaborated on in different iterations of it. Like there's seeds that can grow in each track that you hear. It's like a seed that can grow depending on the type of fertilizer and water you use. So
Yeah, so I love that. And so, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, any of the big directors out there, and any independent directors, they can absolutely, they can take a bar, right? They can take a section of your wonderful music, and they can, make it techno, or they can, right? Is that right, Lorian? Do I have the gist of it?
yeah, you can arrange it in any genre that you like. My hope is that it I'm a neoclassical and neo-romantic composer. It's probably best suited to lyrical, to, kind of staying in that genre, like a John Williams kind of. I'd be more of a John Williams kind of composer in film. Um, but it certainly can be any genre, but
Mm.
but the types of melodies and the chord progressions, because their fundamentals are quite in the realm of neoclassical, classical, they lend themselves to a certain sound best, perhaps, or a different lend themselves to particular genres like drama or you know
Or romance,
the romance or
comedy.
heart opening or psychological or like the inner workings of someone or yeah, thematic.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you have variety and that you're open to adaptations and all of that. So it's so wonderful, Lorianne, talking to you. And speaking of scoring, you started your career scoring a couple of features of with your brother-in-law who made a couple of films, didn't he? Right? And then you put out In Search of Wings, your album, and then you thought you'd come back to scoring, and then life happened, becoming a single parent, and then illness, and you went through all of that. And then with so naturally how life is sometimes, you wanted to get back, but you didn't get back to it. Do you still hold the dream of of that, and a full score of your film, of the film? And if so, what type of story, because we talked about comedy or romance, but what type of story would you like your music matched to?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I would start now pursuing a scoring career. I feel like that is a journey that if someone liked what I do and they were connected to the kind of music I write and the heart that I have, that kind of collaboration would I would love that. Otherwise, I think licensing is the route I'm available for right now. And if somebody, like I say, if there was something special about my music that someone said, I think of Amelie and Jan Tiersen, like that movie Amelie, and had a solo piano score by this one composer, and it's just fantastic. And so it's very, very idiosyncratic. But if there was that kind of opportunity, of course, I would love to work the picture in that kind of situation. But as far as pursuing, like working my way up the ladder of to be a composer. I don't feel like I want to work that hard. Uh, that's, we've heard the angel talk a lot about different things, and I know it's a real thing to get anything to score. But if there's a personal connection and they really were connected to that sound that I know, I can write that kind of music like with my eyes closed, my hands tied behind my back. Like I can write and write and write and write. Do I want to do an action thriller and just write music that is for an action theme and then a scene and then this and that, like a film, if you were hired for a feature, you're scoring every kind of thing right in it. So, um, but if that kind of, I think probably a theme song is a theme piece. No, they're not songs. That kind of thing, that would really light me up. That would, like when you think about the opening to Pride and Prejudice, when you think about the opening to Forrest Gump and that beautiful feather just drifting down with that piano music behind it. That, I mean, I would be so happy about something like that. So, and genre, like I say, something, meaningful, of course, AJ, and heart opening and beautiful and just beautiful. That would be really lovely. So maybe if we just put it out in the universe, we'll see if it comes. Hey.
Yes, let's do that. Let's put it out in the universe. And also, I want to say, yes, we love the Angel, and she's an amazing Hollywood composer and recording artist, and just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
And let's put it out there. I would love one day to see you and her collaborate together. Like you said, it may not be a full feature thing, but maybe somehow you two could get together. That would be a wonderful thing for me to see, for you to see. I would love that. I would be over the moon. I would be so thrilled
You
for
wouldn't- I-
that. And so let's put it out there in the universe and see what happens, right, Lorianne?
Great, AJ. Yes, indeed. Yes.
And we love you. And okay, and then the other thing is, I'm so sorry, we're gonna have to start wrapping the show up soon. I've got a couple more questions. One is there anything else you'd like to promote or give a shout out? You mentioned Clubhouse. Do you want people to follow you on Clubhouse? Come join Clubhouse if they don't know about it, and come to your meditation room and your concerts. Tell us a little bit about what you'd like to promote.
Yeah, well, I have something that I'm really excited about. I'm so glad you brought it up. Is I'm doing a concert, an album celebration concert, October 27th in Vancouver, and I'm going to live stream it at the same time. I haven't done that before. I'm in a concert hall. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and there's going to be one stationary camera. There's not going to be any fancy switching and things, but still, people could join me, and I would love the Clubhouse people and social media people to join me there. I'll get a ticket link up soon on my website for that. And of course, if you're in Vancouver, come to the show, come to the concert. And on Clubhouse, I am playing again in preparation for that October 27th. And you know what I want to put out, AJ? If anybody knows somebody who has a beautiful grand piano in LA, I would love to do a by invite only house salon concert. And I want to put that out there. If anybody knows somebody, and a Steinway B would be great. Gotta have a good instrument, and then we would gather like we did in the times before there were stereos. We gathered in living rooms to listen to music, and I love those intimate gatherings. They're really lovely candlelit things. So I want to manifest that in LA. So I'm planting that seed. And meanwhile, that's enough promoted. If you just come to my concert October 27th, let's start there. Join my email list on my website, and that would be a great way. I'd love to stay in connection with people. If they want to stay connected to me, that'd be a great way to do it, and they'll be in
I
touch
love
with.
that. Yes, yes, and I love that the concert. I think Patricia Tika, I want to give a shout out to her. She came to see you. Wasn't that fabulous?
Oh, Chica, yes, Patricia, she's a sweetheart. I'm just was she came to Concert, yes, one of the salon concerts, that's exactly right.
We love her. She is amazing. Patricia Chica, and she's an incredible filmmaker and a director and another beautiful heart. We've been talking about such great, beautiful hearts this evening, and of course, we're showcasing you and highlighting you. You're the number one most beautiful heart this evening that we're talking about. And Lorianne, thank you so much for your presence tonight. And I have one last question before I let you go, but I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you. And I'm gonna put my heart here. This is a pink opal heart. And my question to you is, because you know I love gemstones and things like that. I know you do too, right? Crystals and gemstones and stuff. You love that kind of thing?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So what is your heart message for tonight?
I would say, um, I guess the message always I return to that I stand in is, love yourself, love each other, and love the earth. And, you know, I hope that's what my work actually calls forth. So
It's the
that's
best. I can't top that, Lorianne. My heart message is ditto. It's the same thing as what you just said. I can't top it. It's the best. Love yourself, number one. Love others. Love the earth. That's it. That's the mission. That's the goal. You're a
mm,
winner. You know, I can't say any more. You've captured it all. It's the perfect sentence of what to do, Lorianne.
thanks.
So
Thanks.
is anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Just how grateful I am to be here with you. It's been a lot of fun and great questions. Just to really, you talk about asking about my positivity and just being around you, AJ, is always positive. You amplify. I sit up a little bit taller and I just feel great in your presence. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, well, I know the angel always calls you her sister, but I also feel you're my sister as well, and a sister to Kimberly Skirm as well. The best, by the way, Kimberly Skirm, the best casting director in the world, CSA. If you have any casting needs, please reach out and follow Kimberly as well. But maybe one day I hope we can all collaborate together on something. Wouldn't that be fabulous? That's my
Oh,
dream.
okay, let's add that to my 5-year plan there. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And call me sister anytime. I'd be honored.
Thank you. Yes. I want to work with you and Judah Ray and Kimberly and the Angel and everybody. All on something. Let's put it out there in the universe, okay?
Something, exactly. Let's just play in the same sandbox, right? Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Lorianne, for this evening. Have a beautiful night. And until we meet again, I'm going to say cheers. Cheers to you, Lorianne.
Oh, I'll get my water too. Cheers. Thank you, AJ. Mm.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.